Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make my artificial rocks. These rocks are very convincing, they're lightweight, and they hold a screw well. And they can be used for a number of different applications. I'll show you just a few examples of what I have used them for here. I'm going to start by molding this rock that I found the other day that has some nice character to it. First thing I do is spray a mold release onto my rock. Not sure if it's necessary, but it certainly doesn't hurt. I'm going to start the molding process with cheap silicone. This is just 100% silicone. You can get it at any hardware store. There's a bunch of much better silicones on the market. They would probably do a better job, but this is just a cheap kind of one-time use mold, even though it can be used more than once. I put it in my caulk gun and just start applying it to the rock. Then I'm going to dip my finger in some water with just a drop or two of dishwashing soap. That actually speeds up the curing process and keeps the silicone from sticking to your hand, sticking to your fingers in a big way. And I just repeat the process until I cover the whole rock. Let the first coat set up, and then I apply additional coats to put a little thickness, to get a little thickness to your mold. Work it in, and the silicone gets in all the nooks and crannies. Now the first coat is starting to set up. You just start applying a second coat. This will thicken the mold up and give it a little strength. Now we let that set up a little bit, and then we'll give it a third coat. And a third coat. And the final coat. Just used up. We will just use up what is remaining in this tube. Then we'll let it set up. It's getting late in the day, so I'll probably let it set up overnight and demold it in the morning. Smooth it out with water. And now we let it set until we make sure it's completely cured. And we'll be ready to cast this. Okay, mold is all set up. Now we're ready to demold. And there's our mold. Now we're ready to cast our rock. Today I'm going to use Smooth Cast 65D. It's a white semi-rigid urethane resin, and it's formulated for roto casting, which works real well on these rocks. We mix equal parts by volume of A and B. Mix the two together and stir it well. Scrape the sides. Now we pour it in the mold. Probably way more material than we needed. That's okay. Then we just start rotating it around until it starts to kick. And this is a resin I just happen to have on hand now. This rock could equally be cast in just about any other resins. You could even use plaster. So this gives you a lighter weight rock because you just have a shell. And then we are going to fill the inside with an expanding foam. Now it's starting to change color. We're just about Just about done. Really starting to thicken. And that's about all that material is going to move around. So now we just wait for it to completely set up. It's only been about 5 minutes, but as you can see, that's set up pretty good now. It's a nice uniform white color. The next thing we're going to do is use a 2-part urethane foam. Fill the center so it will accept the screw. Equal parts A and B. Now we mix the two together. Mix it up real good until it's a nice uniform color. And we're ready to pour into our mold. I kind of guess at the quantity of foam required to fill this. I may have way too much. But if it overflows, simply take a knife to it and trim it down. So I misjudged the amount of foam I used by quite a bit, and we have quite a mess here. We'll simply take a knife and cut through the foam. Get rid of the excess. That looks a little better. Now it's time to demold our rock and see what we have. And out she comes. Now it's all ready to be painted up. Now I'm going to start out the painting process with a gray primer just to give it a base coat. We'll let that dry and then we'll start adding some colors. Normally one base coat is all that's necessary, but I didn't like the way this one came out. I used the gloss paint mistakenly, so I'm going to go over it one more time with a satin. Base color really doesn't matter since all you're doing is adding a little contrast to future coats. That'll do it. So now I'm going to start adding some color to this rock to make it look like the real thing. I'm going to take some acrylic paint and a cheap chip brush. I'm just going to start stippling color on there. I'm going to repeat this process with a number of different colors until I get results I'm satisfied with. Next, I'm going to put a little black on here. Just stippling it on so it doesn't completely cover the previous color. As you go, I find myself using less paint. I think I'll try a little sienna. Now I'm going to try a little yellow ochre. Painting these rocks is quite fun. You can go back and forth from one color to another. You can use metallics. Don't be afraid to experiment. You simply just keep going until you like the results. You can go back and forth from one color to another. I'm going to try just a tad of white, see what that does for it. Good thing about this, if you don't like the results, you can just go over it with a darker color again and give it a little contrast. And you just keep stippling to work it in. Now that I got the rock looking pretty convincing, I'm going to give it a coat of clear lacquer to seal the colors in. So this rock is now complete. It's foam filled, so it'll accept the screw very easily to use however you would like. I hope you've learned something from this video, and if you have, please don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more. Thank you.